Hey everyone, I'm Mine, and this is set number 75339, Death Star Trash Compactor Diorama from the LEGO Star Wars theme. This set contains 802 pieces, 6 minifigures, and will retail for $89.99 in the US. This set actually does not come out until April 26, 2022, however it was sent to me early by the LEGO group through the LEGO Ambassador Network, but all opinions expressed in this video are my own. Before I get started, I'd just like to ask you guys to please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I've already done an early review of the Dagobah Jedi Training Diorama set, and the Death Star Trench Run review will be coming shortly, and then I've also got early reviews of the new Jurassic World sets, as well as some other fun stuff coming very, very soon. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, subscribe to the channel and it'll be right in your sub box as soon as it's posted. But with all that being said, let's get on to the review. So this set is a part of the all-new LEGO Star Wars Diorama collection, and they're a collection of sets that have a build from a famous Star Wars scene, and then they have this black base around them, and at the bottom it has the Star Wars logo as well as a quote that one of the characters said during the scene. The Trash Compactor initially was the one I was most excited for. It's one of my favorite scenes in Star Wars, and we've never really gotten it in LEGO aside from the Death Star, but it's cool to see it elaborated into a full actual set. But how's it hold up actually having it in person? I actually do like it quite a bit. So first let me show you the quote-unquote play feature, or I guess display feature because this is a display set. The walls of the Trash Compactor can actually close in. You just push them in from both sides, and there you go, everybody's all crushed up now. The mechanism to do this is actually pretty cool. The way the trash is laid out is so that they can all intersect each other perfectly when you close them together. But I think that's done actually really well, because without the walls closed in, the trash does still seem like randomly thrown all throughout. But yeah, the way that clicks in perfectly is amazing. And there's no forcing or anything, it goes very smoothly, so I absolutely love that feature. You can also see there's that little pipe in the back there that actually turns up and then just adds some more like dimension to this, to really show that things are getting crushed in here. But yeah, I'm a very big fan of how that system works. In terms of the trash itself, it is all very random and messy, so there's nothing too specific to show. You have like an astromech droid leg right here. There's a droid body on the other side as well, as I guess this could be seen as an astromech droid head. Moving some of the figures out of the way though, you can see it's mostly just gray pipes and whatnot. There's nothing too specifically identifiable in here. In the center area right here, this is where I had Luke laying down. You can see it's just miscellaneous trash and whatnot. But behind that, I believe this is supposed to be the eye of the dianoga. And I don't think that is great. I really wish we got a proper dianoga build, kind of like we had in the Death Star, because that is one of the most iconic parts of the scene, and I don't know, I don't feel like it's represented super well here. Or maybe even like a tentacle coming out of the ground that could like grab onto one of the minifigures. That would be something, but yeah, just this one eye, I don't know, it doesn't really do it for me. Because to me, I have a tough time seeing that as a creature. It just sort of looks like more trash. It just looks like trash with a red light at the end of it. So yeah, that part, in my opinion, is not great. Behind that, you can see the door at the back. It's got the iconic like orange lights at the top. And unfortunately, there is no opening mechanism to the door here. It is built separately, so you could probably build this without the door if you wanted to display it with the door open. But yeah, there is no mechanism to pop it off or slide it up or slide it to the side or anything. Which again, a little bit disappointing, but that doesn't bother me as much, because this is just meant to be a display piece, and I think the walls closing in is plenty play features. And the build does look better with the door closed. But yeah, it would be nice if that was an option. You can see the floor of the trash compactor is made up of miscellaneous tiles. These are mostly 1x1 black tiles to sort of give a murky, watery feel, but you also have some brown and gray in there, I guess, to represent more trash. But that's about the gist of the actual interior of the trash compactor. Again, I'll show you it closed up once more from a different angle. And you can see here's how it looks on the outside. You have this little knob right here that you grab onto, and that's how you open the doors back up. And I actually like the design of the outer side of the door. It's very simple, but it has a very mechanical feel to it. They did a lot more with that than they had to do, so I do appreciate that. And yeah, it's all about the same on the other side. Then coming out the front of the build, we of course have the printed LEGO Star Wars tile, as well as the quote itself, which is also a print. Cool thing about this set, there's absolutely no stickers in the entire thing, which I really appreciate. I also like how these are two separate parts instead of just one as well, because that means you can repurpose the LEGO Star Wars tile for other things. For what purpose, I'm not sure, but I feel like there is some use to that part, so I do appreciate getting that here. And that is the same printed tile that comes in the other quote sets. And then finally, if we turn this build around, there's actually something hidden on the back. Here we have both C-3PO and R2 trying to save the day. The figures of both of these are really good, but we'll take a look at them when we take a look at the figures. Let me remove them for now. But yeah, you can see we have a tiny little 6x2 platform right here. Some walls that look like the interior of the Death Star, which looks good. And in the back you have this piece that represents a console where R2 can hack in and actually stop the trash compactor from closing. Again, something cool about this is that is a printed part, and I feel like that's a really useful one. If you're making like a Death Star mock, you can really use that part. I think that looks fantastic. But that's about all for the actual build of the trash compactor, so now let's move on to the minifigures. So here are the first two minifigures included in this set. We have Luke Skywalker and Han Solo in their Stormtrooper disguises. These are great figures to get because previously we've only ever gotten them in the Death Star, and I know you can make them with your own parts, but it's still cool to get an official version of them, even if it is just something you can very easily make as a custom. That being said, I really wish they came with their Stormtrooper helmets in this set. I know when it comes to the movie, they technically took them off the scene before, and then in this scene they didn't have them anymore, but I don't know, it would have been a nice thing to have just off to the side. So that way, if you didn't want to keep these guys in their Stormtrooper disguises, you could have just made your own Stormtroopers, but instead you just have the torsos and legs and no helmets. That's not a huge deal though, just something I would have appreciated. However, something kind of interesting about these guys is this is an all-new Stormtrooper torso and leg design. I know a lot of people are upset about that because you feel like your army building has just been rejected, and yeah, I totally get that. I do think this is an improvement, but the question is, was this improvement necessary? And the answer to that is, I don't know. I do like the design overall, and I think this is very representative of Stormtroopers in the movies, but they've been redesigned so many times at this point, I kind of just wish they would stick to something. Anyway, then when we get to their faces and hair, it's the same faces and hair they've had for a while. Luke uses dark tan instead of regular tan in this set, which is kind of new for him. He's used the dark tan in episode 5 sets before, but the light tan's mostly been used in episode 4 sets, so that is somewhat of a change. To me though, I see that as he's using dark tan because it represents him after his head has been dunked underwater, and this is his hair like soggy and wet, which makes sense for this scene. But yeah, I don't have a ton to say about these guys because it is just Luke and Han who we've gotten many times before. The Han Solo face print hairpiece, of course, is really good, and I do like the new Stormtrooper design, I just kind of wish it wasn't changed. And then in terms of accessories, they just come with their blasters. Turning them around, there's what the new back torso prints for the Stormtrooper bodies look like, and there's what the alternate faces look like, just a smile for both of them. Here are the next two figures in the set. We have Leia and we have Chewbacca. Both of these are reused figures, nothing new about either of them. Leia is the same one that came in the X-Wing from last year, except now she has white legs instead of a dress piece. I saw some people were upset about that. Personally, I don't mind, because the legs allow her to have more agility, which you kind of need for posing her in this scene. I do wish maybe we had some dress printing on the legs instead of just being plain white legs, but honestly I don't think it's too big a deal, and I think the plain white legs fit Leia well enough. And then Chewbacca is Chewbacca. He's the modern day Chewbacca design. Very, very good. I really don't have anything to say about him, but no complaints about him either. The molding on the head and everything is really good. Love the printing on the face, and the fur on the legs is a nice touch. Would have been cool if they maybe gave him arm printing of like fur or something to add some extra detail, but definitely is not necessary, and he looks very good as is. In terms of accessories, Leia doesn't get anything, but Chewbacca gets this long staff. This staff is the large piece of trash that they use in episode 4 to try to stop the walls of the trash compactor from closing in. And I think that's a really cool inclusion. If you try to use this in the trash compactor, instead of stopping the walls from closing in, Chewbacca will actually just fall off the studs that you put him on. However, it's still a nice inclusion and a good reference to the scene. You can definitely give Chewbacca or any other character in this set this accessory to pose them in a way to like represent the scene better. So it's a nice inclusion, but like nothing all too special, pretty simple build. Then in terms of face print, Leia has the more modern version of her face that's also been used on Captain Marvel. And then her hairpiece she's had for quite a few years at this point, but if you don't have it yet, obviously nice way to get it here. Really love the back torso printing on Leia. Kind of wish she had a physical hood you could put on her back, but it's not a huge deal that she doesn't. And here's a look at her alternate face. And then of course Chewbacca has no printing underneath his body. Just a plain dark brown torso piece. And then finally here are the final two figures in the set, C-3PO and R2-D2, who also happen to be the best figures in the set, which is a little bit funny because these two are hidden away if you're displaying the set like the way they intend for the set to be displayed. You'll never see these guys because they're hidden behind, but yeah, both of these guys are updated and all new and really fantastic. So this version of C-3PO is the most detailed it's ever been. The head's exactly the same as the one we've been getting for a while, but the torso's got way more printing. You can see there's some metallic gold printing on top of the gold piece to add like an extra bit of detail, and I think that looks fantastic. And then the legs are more intricately textured than before, and there's actually, for the first time ever, toe printing. So you can see the silver printing on C-3PO's silver leg actually continues into his toe now. In addition to this, he now has arm printing, which is really cool. We've gotten this once before in the red arm C-3PO, but we've never actually gotten both arms in gold, so that's amazing to see the arm printing there, and it looks fantastic. Very mechanical looking design, which obviously fits C-3PO perfectly. No side leg printing, which is unfortunate, because I know the red arm C-3PO did have side leg printing. However, you could swap the legs out on this guy for that one, I guess, if you wanted. But yeah, really fantastic redesign overall, and it continues into his back torso print as well, where again, slightly more detailed than the past one. The torso is definitely the part of this figure that updated the least, but still very cool to see. And you may notice now we've turned this around, for the first time ever, R2 has back printing. I don't know why it took them so long to do this, and as someone who's not like super into LEGO Star Wars, I didn't even realize like it was something that hadn't happened. But yeah, now seeing it here, it fits perfectly, and it works great for him. I'm really glad it's here. Nothing too complex, again, it's just what it should look like, but it looks really good and adds like another level of detail to this R2-D2 minifigure. So yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of both of these guys. A shame that they're hidden away on the back, But you could very easily take them off the set and put them anywhere else in your collection. So yeah, I really appreciate both of these guys being included. So, what are my overall thoughts on this set? I do like this set a lot. I think it is absolutely beautiful. Trash Compactor is something I wanted for a very long time in LEGO in its own proper set, and I'm very happy to get it. However, LEGO did send this to me, so I did not have to pay for it. You guys are gonna have to pay for it, and the price doesn't look great, in my opinion. I'm mixed about how to feel of the pricing of these sets as a whole, because on the one hand, it does feel a little bit small for $90. However, there is a level of detail here that you don't get from regular sets, and there is a much larger variety of different pieces included, a much larger level of detail on the minifigures. So there is things here that I feel like increase the value. But even with all that being said, 90 still feels like a bit much to me. So in terms of the set itself, do I like it? Yeah, I think it's fantastic, a wonderful display piece, and I would highly, highly recommend it. But for the price, I don't know if you guys really need to pick it up, because 90 is a lot of money for this. So yeah, I'm not sure about that one. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of the set in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please press like, subscribe if you're new, and stay tuned for my review of the final diorama set, the Death Star Trench Run, coming very, very soon. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.